Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you until right around 5 o'clock this afternoon. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. 513. What the heck are you watching? Oh, that's a little cartoon thing. You gotta watch. Hey, let me see that. Didn't that sound like something else? That sounded like it's a little. I have to keep an eye on what she be watching. It's a little cartoon thing, but that didn't sound like no little cartoon thing. Um, it is. What's up, Robert Willis? Robert Willis from Anderson in the house. Carolyn. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Come on in here. Of course, y'all know election day was yesterday. Got a few things that, we'll talk about. Anthony from Westwood in the house. Yo, Underwood. Oh, you back. Hey, what's happening? I don't know if you were in jail or something. Brini, good afternoon. North College Hill. Covington, good afternoon. Working. Okay, I would keep it down so they don't, Sierra from Boston, checking us out. Miss Pittsburgh from Pittsburgh, checking us out. All right. Anthony says like and share. Yeah, if you feel like liking and sharing, do that, please. Myosha checking in. Sleepy stayed up way too late watching election results. So did I. I don't know why. They had said early on they wasn't gonna do nothing. I'm switching because I was watching all three of the networks. Well, the MSNBC, CNN, Fox News. I was watching them all. And when Rachel and that crew went off, and then Fox News, their desk said, all right, basically that's it. We still gonna have some coverage. And then Don Lemon came in on CNN, I believe, at that time. I was like, they might still come up with something. So I was still watching. I feel like it was like 3 o'clock in the morning at that point. But man, let's see. Vincent from Evendale. Angela Kinney. Hey, what's up? Yo says, really, bro? I just got out last week. I was watching you from the 5th floor. All right. I don't know exactly what that means. Cleopatra says she calling from her mother's womb. Ooh. That's got to be uncomfortable for your mama. I was watching MSNBC. Your TV will go to Fox News. It will. Terry from downtown checking us out. All right. What's up, Terry? All right. So what do we think? Are we happy? Are we happy? I was a little surprised. I wasn't sure if Tim Ryan would do it. I wasn't sure. And I was surprised because I thought he might. I thought it might be closer than it was. So who are people blaming? Because people got to blame somebody. Are black people getting blamed? I don't think so. Honestly, which is of course what all of the pundits were saying. The Democrats had a pretty good showing. Oh, wait a minute. Tanya, not sure which, from St. Louis. Hey, what's up? St. Louis in the house. Daryl say he checking in. Janice says, you're here? No, I'm not here. I am not here. It's a hologram. It's a hologram. But I think I agree with, of course, all the pundits. You kind of imagine that in the midterm after the Democrats took the White House, that they would lose some seats. But everybody was talking about this red wave, and it wasn't. I'm still shocked that Raphael Warnock and Herschel Walker are going to a runoff. I'm shocked. In all honesty, I know. I get the idea. Well, hold on before I even say what I have to say. Daryl says, I blame Warnock for the runoff. That debate, he was too soft on Herschel. He just may lose this runoff. Yeah, he might. I don't think he will. But I mean, it's a possibility, no doubt. It's a possibility. But I hope not. I get the people were voting for the party. I get the people were voting for the party. But I really don't understand. If there was a semi-competent incumbent Republican in, and the Democrats had an opportunity, and they put up, I'm trying to think of somebody like not too bright and or competent. As a Democrat, would you vote for him? Like if Herschel Walker was here running against J.D. Vance instead of Tim Ryan, but he was running as a Democrat, would you have voted for him? To make sure J.D. Vance didn't get in, would you have voted for a Democrat, Herschel Walker? I think some people would. Some people would say, look, he's not that bright, but he's a Democrat, and I'm going with the Democrat. So while it seems unreasonable that the Republicans are down there voting for Herschel Walker, I think a lot of y'all would do the same. Yo Underwood says, don't do that. I'm just being honest. Angela says, Warnock is just as illogical a choice, which this shows. See, I don't know about that. Because I think, number one, look, let's not take away. No, this is going to sound ridiculous. It's going to sound ridiculous because it is ridiculous. But let's not take away the fact that in Georgia, Herschel Walker was and is a superstar. He was pretty daggone good in football. And I know that don't seem to make sense, but people vote based on stuff like that. How do you think Tommy Tuberville got elected? He coached at Auburn. He won games. He was well known. And he was no Herschel Walker. The man won the Heisman. He played for the Minnesota Vikings. He played for Dallas as well, but he played for the Minnesota Vikings. That was my team. I know it sounds like I'm not making no sense. None of that matters. That actually does matter to people. Why do you think they go out and get people with a name and all of that kind of stuff to run? That's why they do it. he's slow. Okay, the man is not that bright. I'm hesitant to call him stupid because, that feels mean right now. It feels mean. But that's how people vote. And then you put on top of that, for the party, for the control of the Senate, there's so much going on here. Daryl says Abrams and O'Rourke need to hang it up. They both lost twice by a big margin. I don't know if it. Look, like I said last time about Stacey Abrams. If Stacey Abrams was a conventional beauty, she would have won. Don't be mad at me. I'm just here to tell the truth. I'm here to say stuff that people don't want to say. If Stacey Abrams was a slender woman with long, relaxed hair, maybe a shade or two lighter, she would be the governor of Georgia. That's just how we get down. People like to vote for attractive people, in particular women. People like to vote for attractive women. She would be. There's a place, of course, for her in politics. Because apparently, by all accounts, she's brilliant. In terms of organization and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But you have to get, when you're running, you have to get other people to vote for you. Like, she's got to get white Democratic men and women to vote for her in the numbers that she needs to win. She's got to do it. So she's turning out the black vote, apparently. And of course, she's getting some white men and women to vote for her. But she's not getting enough. And I heard, I believe, Mallory saying, with regard to this, because this is the race that I'm the most distraught about. Raquel Howard Smith she should have won already. I understand it's like 1,000 votes. She should have won. And I heard Mallory saying, hey, in her race, there were like 8,000 or something undervotes. That means, as he explained it, and as I understand it, this many people voted, but this many people didn't vote for anyone in that race. Okay? So what did he say? It was like 8,000 outstanding, people who did not vote in that race. And I think he said, I'm not 100% sure. I think he said that's the most in any race in Hamilton County. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But wasn't both of them black women? And if that's the case, here's what happened. My analysis. People were voting, and people said, I'm not voting for either of them black women, Republican or Democrat. I'm not voting for either one of them black women to become no judge in the juvenile court. I'm not voting for either one of them. So they just skipped right on over that. That's the way I see that. People don't. There are a lot of white Democrats and white Republicans who still don't vote for black candidates. They still will not vote for black. Oh, they're Democrats. Black Democrat will win. There are a lot of white Republicans and white Democrats who will not vote for black candidates in their own party. And especially if you got if you, like if you kind of, what's the word I want to use? If you kind of, you know, sellout-ish. I'm not saying you a sellout, but you got some sellout tendencies. They might, vote for you then. But if you like, no, I'm a strong black man, I just happen to be a Republican, you're probably not going to get elected. Because there's a lot of people that will not vote for you. And like I said, that's Republican and Democrat. That's on both sides. So that's my take on that. That's my take on that. That's why there were so many people who did not vote in that race. But Raquel should have won that one. Easily. Kamikia says, same thing happened with Abrams. More people voted in the Warnock-Walker race and didn't vote for Abrams. Yeah. And that's, it really is something that people, it's not right. It's not fair. I'm embarrassed for the nation. Okay, I'm not really embarrassed, but you know what I'm saying. For the nation that we're still in a position, and probably will always be in a position, where racism stops people from voting for certain people, and the way a person looks stops people from voting for people. It's harder for a short dude to get elected over a tall dude, on a certain level. That just is that we have our isms, heightism, fatism. I don't know what you would call it. But we have those things and they play out and we see them. And then people are like, why can't she cross that hurdle? She doesn't have that look. She doesn't have that look. But, it was still a good night for, I guess when you really think about it, it was a good night for everybody. There's a really good chance. I heard somebody give an update that said that it was official. The Republicans have taken control of the House. It's not. It's not official yet. It's a number of races that haven't been called. Plus, none of it is technically official until the votes are certified. But even in the putting that away, just from the votes, the projections, people have projected that the Republicans are going to take over the House. And it's a pretty good bet that the Republicans are going to take over the House. But it's not been, those races have not been called even by the media. So anybody telling you, it's official, the Republicans, that's not true. Not true. Still, we can still hold on. And let me be clear. I lean very heavily Democrat, although I am an independent. And I know that sounds crazy. I'm an independent who will vote a straight Democratic ticket and not be ashamed of it. I'm not voting for Republicans. I still believe the Republican Party is a hate group. And if independents aren't out there representing my values, I'm not voting for them. Not going to do it. But I don't know. It looks like a good night for everybody. Of course, the Republicans, they're like, hey, we're about to get this wave and we're going to control the House. We're going to control the Senate. We're going to have a large enough margin. We're going to impeach Joe Biden. How you run on, we're going to impeach him? Impeach him for what? Well, we don't know yet. So you already planned to impeach the man. He did nothing. You can't even point to anything that you believe he may have done. But you already want to impeach him if you get control. That says to me, that's a group that shouldn't have control. That's a group that shouldn't have control. So yeah, now I'm against them. I was happy for that Greg Landsman beat Shabbat. I was very happy for that. For the laptop. They can't impeach him for the laptop. It wasn't his laptop. It wasn't his laptop. You're going to impeach me because my son may have done some stuff? That don't even make sense. I mean, I know that's what they, you know. Brent says another angle. Folks think Abrams is a pescatarian. I don't know what a pescatarian is. I know what a Baptist is. I know it's not a religion. I'm just being silly. I don't know what a pescatarian is. Janice says, I'll vote the entire ballot only because I know the importance and power of a majority. Yeah. I voted straight. Hold on. But I did not look, and I need to. Did 1 and 2 pass? Issues 1 and 2? I don't know why I just thought about it. I spent all my time looking at races that really ain't got nothing, Georgia and all that stuff that really don't have anything to do with me. Like, I live in Georgia. I mean, it affects me potentially because that may determine who has control in the Senate. But I don't live in Georgia. Looking at Pennsylvania, I don't live in Pennsylvania. Stuff like that. I was focused on that. I was glad that Stephanie Summerall Dumas won. But what about issue 1 and issue 2? Kamikia says, yes. Issues 1 and 2 both passed. I mean, look, okay. When I really think about it, hold on, let me just tell you about me first. I voted no on 1, I voted no on 2. I voted no on 1, I voted no on 2. And I voted no on every levy. I'm anti every levy. So I did. I voted no on every levy and on 1 and 2. But I don't understand. I don't understand what it is. I mean, let's see. D says the wording of those issues are worded deceptively. I don't think they're worded deceptively. When people say that, it always frustrates me. I don't, there's not been an issue where I was like, oh man, the way that this is worded, I don't know which way to vote. Like, I read it. You read the issue. Don't pay much attention to the way it's been presented to you in the media or by some political side, one or another. And if you're really confused, you could always go and grab the League of Women's Voters pamphlet from the library. You can always do that. And they explain it. They give you, here are the pros and here are the cons. Here are the pros and here are the cons. And hold on, little baby. Go upstairs. Tell Mommy D to give me the League of Women Voters pamphlet. You'll figure it out. Just go up there. Tell her, grandfather needs the Women Voters pamphlet. All right? What you gonna say? I don't know. She will figure it out. The Women's Voters pamphlet. Just because they do a good job of breaking that stuff down. So just for future reference, if you're having a hard time understanding the wording on the ballot, exactly what it means, exactly what it will do, go to the library, get the League of Women's Voters pamphlet, booklet, whatever, and read it. Read it. Now, I know somebody said, look, if I didn't understand what was on the ballot, how am I going to understand? You understand it. They break it down super simple for you. Hold on. You must understand that the consensus is that a large majority of our citizens only read and comprehend at a third grade level. It's gonna, I'm interested. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna get a phone call. Like, what is she asking for? And I believe she gonna do it. I believe she gonna do it. But I mean, when they put stuff out there that scares people, the commercials that they were running, like, oh, Your Honor, I'm afraid that if he gets out of jail, he's gonna come and harm me. And then, well, I can't give him bail because the law says that I can't take your safety. And you're like, whoa. That sounds crazy. I need the League of Women Voters pamphlet.
League of Women. You were close. She said the women's. I didn't understand voter. I thought she said folder. The women's folder pamphlet. I'm like, the what? Okay. You're very close. Come on, give it to you. Come on.
She was close. She was close. So I'll be getting that shortly. I thought she was just gonna call me. She came down. But yeah, they run those commercials to scare you. But you gotta be able to read. You gotta be able to read the issue and understand it. And I keep telling y'all, I vote. It used to be called E-Slate. It's not called E-Slate anymore, but the little electronic way of voting. That's how I vote every time. It reads it to you. It reads everything to you. So that even if, your reading comprehension, your ability to read ain't that good. Like when you read, you got to move your lips. You know what I'm saying? Some people are that way. It's not nothing against you. Some people are that way, but then he'll read it to you. Thank you. Thank you, little baby. Here you go. All right. This might be a little late. Maybe I should have done this earlier. Let me see where. I don't want y'all to be confused next time. Next time, I don't want y'all to be confused. I want y'all to go get this League of Women's Voter thing. And I'm gonna show you that this is how they break it down. Like, they went through issue 1. And then they spell it out. They say pros. Bail is about appearing for the person's court date according to the guideline in the Supreme Court. This amendment ensures that courts when setting bail, consider factors such as public safety, an individual's criminal record, and the severity of the offense. Courts can, I gotta hold it far away from me because I'm getting old, y'all. Courts can consider public safety among other factors when setting the financial conditions of bail rather than the longer process of denying bail completely. It says puts cash bail and its conditions directly in the Ohio Constitution, and it gives individual courts more discretion in determining cash bail. But the cons, it says, and there's a thing now, it says cons, and that means if you vote for this is the bad part. The amendment would no longer require the Ohio Supreme Court to establish consistent rules of bail, placing cash bail and its conditions directly in the Ohio Constitution. Also, there is no substantial evidence that bail ensures public safety, but rather it can worsen or create inequities. Another con, bail allows some accused persons with enough money to be freed pre-trial, while others without enough money remain incarcerated for the same or lesser crime. And lastly, a con, cash bail may leave the accused in jail during pretrial, tend to plead guilty in exchange for their freedom while awaiting trial. It literally lays it out for you. Okay, here is what it could do that's good, but here's what it could do that's bad. The League of Women's Voters of Greater Cincinnati, I don't know if y'all can see that. League of Women's Voters of Greater Cincinnati. Next time around, if you have a hard time understanding the ballot language of some of the issues, go get it. Go get it. It helps people understand. I always go get it. Even if I understand the issue, I read it because, I'm like, hey, they may have some understanding of an issue that I didn't have. Like, I didn't even think about that. That makes sense. League of Women's Voters. What else? So we're okay with the election. We're okay with what happened during the election. We're all a little disturbed by Herschel Walker still being in it, but we understand it's politics. There'll be a runoff. I honestly don't believe that race is a it sounds ridiculous to say, but I don't think that's a referendum on Raphael Warnock. I think it's just the state of politics, especially in a state like Georgia. Especially in a state like Georgia. I feel like it was a rebuke. It was a rebuke of Donald Trump. And I got a feeling that he's going to be, I know there's going to be a primary, and because he's going to run. He's going to run for a few reasons. He's going to run because, he's an egomaniac. He thinks he can control that party, which, so far he kind of has been. He can manipulate people to kind of go down to their lowest base instinct. And he believes that benefits him. He believes it's financially good for him to run and or be president. But I think more than anything, he's going to run because he thinks that's going to get Letitia James and everybody off his back. I really believe that he believes that if I'm an official declared candidate, that changes the legal playing field. And they can't come for me like they coming for me because it'll all seem political. I really believe he believes that. And I think that's why he's going to run. That's why he's going to run. But he's going to be primaried. DeSantis is going to, he's their new star. He's mean. You know what I'm saying? He does bad stuff. He comes off as kind of Trump-like. They like that. They like that. Why can't Trump be running again? Because God told him to run. God never told him to run. The devil might have told him to run. The devil might have. But God ain't tell that man to run. I'm telling you, God didn't tell him to run. And I feel quite confident speaking up for God on this point. Not that I have to. Not that I have to. But I'm confident speaking up for God on this issue. He didn't tell that man to run. Manuel says that's the main reason why he's running. He thinks all the lawsuits will disappear, and there's still plenty of idiots that's sending money through his PAC. But I mean, that's that. Like I said, here locally, I'm glad that Stephanie Summerall Dumas won. Can I just say this? Well, I'm asking y'all as if y'all gonna be like no, and then I'm gonna be like okay, because y'all said no, I won't say it. I've always hated when people say, you know, kids are off limits. A candidate's kids are off limits. Because I kind of believe it to a certain extent until you put your kids in the race, until you make them a part of your political campaign. I don't just mean, you know, volunteering, stuffing envelopes. I don't know that anybody does that anymore. But you know what I'm saying? Volunteering, all that kind of stuff. I don't mean in that way. If your child does a campaign commercial for you, they fair game. They're fair game. I feel like that's manipulative. Vote for my mommy. Vote for my daddy. I feel like, you know, when you do that, I got a right to talk about your kid. That was just kind of an aside. I don't know why it bothered me so much when I heard a commercial. I heard Christopher Smitherman, a commercial with his daughter in it. And I don't have anything negative to say about his daughter, of course. But I don't think candidates should do that. I don't think candidates should do that unless you want you. In my opinion, when you do that, you are holding your child up to scrutiny. I don't like just if you're thinking about running for something, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. Just do the same stuff that everybody else do. Do the same stuff that everybody else do. Don't do that. Let me see. Anything else about the election? And because I haven't since about 5 o'clock this morning when I went to sleep. And then, you know, I woke up and my day got going up to when I came on here. I haven't had much chance to look and see any other results. D says kids should be off limits. I think they should if you don't put them in the field of play. But if you put them in the field of play, they're no longer off limits. That's just the way I see it. That's why I say keep them out of the field of play. Keep them out of the field of play. But that's just me. But you know, he didn't win. He came in last. And I think that's a good thing. I will say, hold on, Ben says that don't make sense. What doesn't make sense about it? I'm open to, you know, my mind is open. So please tell me what doesn't make sense about it. You could call 717-5464. I only laugh because I know you won't. You don't have the stones to do that. But I honestly, my mind is open to why does that not make sense? And I'll take it genuinely under consideration. I was about to say something else when that came up. Because I had one more piece on the election. One more thing. Kids should always be off limits unless you put them in the field of play. I agree they should, unless you put them in the field of play. If you put them in the field of play, then they're not off limits. Dwayne says, I mean, that's the reason we don't know Lil Baby's real name. She's not really in the conversation. And again, That's kind of true, Dwayne. But just by the fact that she's here and y'all see her and hear every once in a while, and if y'all was like, hey, what about little baby? And I'm like, no, she's off limits. You're like, and you don't want to keep bringing her on the air. You don't want to keep talking about her. You don't want, no, don't say her name. Don't call her little baby. Don't call her, nothing. She's off limits. Don't even reference her. Then stop bringing her on the air. See what I'm saying? But if I bring her on the air, she's going to get referenced. That only makes sense. That only makes sense. Don't even talk about, don't reference my granddaughter. And then she be, grandfather, who was that? Don't reference her. Come on. Okay, now we get to the ridiculousness. So if I walk to the store with my kid, somebody should be able to attack my kid. No reasonable human hearing this conversation believes in any way, shape, or form that that's what we're talking about. We're talking about in the political arena, not bringing children into the discourse. That's clearly what we're talking about. No reasonable human, no halfway reasonable, even Herschel Walker would understand that I'm not talking about if you walk in. Come on. No. Like, for real, you tell me you don't even have the sense that Herschel Walker got? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Keep it real. You use her for sympathy from the audience. I don't know. Do I get sympathy for her? Ah. Oh boy. Anthony says, not sure Herschel understanding that, E. I'm pretty sure Herschel would understand that. Even Herschel would understand that. Hold on. He would understand that we not talking about if you walking down the street with a kid, it's okay for somebody to physically attack them. Herschel Walker would not have said that. That's stupid. See, now I can say stupid. It felt mean before, but it feels appropriate now. All right, what else? It was something else. It was something else that I was going to talk about in the political arena, but I don't remember what it was. So let's move on. This whole issue with Kyrie Irving still going on. And I'm beginning to see a lot of pushback. And again, the people who are pushing back, they aren't saying we agree with what's in that documentary that we probably didn't watch. Nobody who's pushing back, or at least that I've heard, that's not their argument. The argument that people are having is about the fact that the man should have a right and not be punished for his thoughts. And that the punishment is not, how do I say it? That people do and say things about Black people, and people have put themselves in positions where there are a number of things that could and should happen to them, but it doesn't. But I think the idea that a lot of people are like, look, what y'all doing to this man compounded what you've done to other people and what you haven't done to other groups of people makes this over the top. And actually, from this standpoint, why funny why it popped up there. I was just about to invoke his name. Wyatt asked me a question the other day when we were talking about this. Wyatt said, do you believe that the KKK has the right to go down on Fountain Square, get a permit, go down on Fountain Square, hold a rally, and say the vile things that they say? And I paused for, felt like a half a second, and I said, yes. The pause was because I don't like it. I don't like it. They say vile things. I don't like it. But they should have the right to say those vile things. They should have the right to say those vile things. And I support their right. I don't support what they say, but I support their right to say it. And I support other people's right to stand up and say, hey, that's wrong. I stand against what they stand for. And to meet them down there and have a counter demonstration of sorts. But I believe they should have that right. Nat says, did you protest the KKK on Fountain Square with Lincoln wearing sir? No, I didn't. I didn't. Wyatt says, Kyrie is now getting support from us, which is good. And again, look, I understand the people who have issues. I understand the people who have issues with what he said. But I believe stand up and say something counter. Stand up and say, I'm sorry, I watched that documentary and there are so many things in there that aren't true that I don't think people should watch it. What? Be a voice counter to the voice that you don't like? What? Yeah, that's simple. Be a voice counter to the voice that you don't like, as opposed to, wanting to punish somebody. Now, again, it'd be different if he was, running around wearing a anti-Jewish people shirt. I'm not 100% sure what that would look like, but, okay, if he were doing that, if he had a shirt with the K word on it, I'd be like, that's over the line. That's inappropriate. That's so far over the line. If they suspend him on that, he brought that on himself. If he were, attempting to get the police to kill a Jewish person by saying that the Jewish person did something wrong when they didn't, I would be like, whoa, that's over the line. No, you're actually trying to harm people or get people harmed. Because I know somebody brought up, well, when all of these white people do this stuff, we love to figure out who they are and see them lose their jobs. Most of the time, they're like calling the police on people. And we all know when you call the police on people, there's a much greater chance of them getting hurt. We know that. Much greater chance of them getting hurt, shot, killed, than if you didn't call the police on them for doing nothing wrong. So it's different. But if they said, if Steve Nash, former coach of the Brooklyn Nets, Steve Nash, if he said, and didn't say, just posted the poster for some documentary that has some stuff in it that I believe to be anti-black, I would just think Steve Nash is a fool if he believed that stuff. It don't even necessarily mean that he does, but I would assume he does. And I don't agree with that dude. But I wouldn't be like, oh, ruin his life. Take away his livelihood. Arwash says the Hebrew Israelites you see on the streets say some disgusting things as well. How come they ain't back in Kyrie? Well, I don't know that they are. First, I don't know what disgusting things they say. I've known some Hebrew Israelites. Alicia Israel used to do his show from the radio station every week. And I used to go get my hair cut by the man. So I spent time in his shop and we talked. What disgusting thing? I never heard him say a single disgusting thing. I heard him express that, he believed that black people were the original Hebrews, the Israelites, those people who received the promises of Yahweh. That's not vile to me. That's not disgusting. That's his belief. Well, apparently, people of the Jewish religion feel like Hebrew Israelites are not. So is that vile and disgusting? I'm the chosen person. No, I'm the chosen person. You're anti. No. Y'all don't believe the same thing. So I would have to ask, because I've never heard them say those disgusting things. What disgusting things do you hear them saying? And because I don't know a lot of them anymore, I don't communicate with a lot of them, I can't say that they're not back in Kyrie. Have you heard, has some Hebrew Israelites come out and said, we don't support Kyrie Irving? Or are you just, like you usually do, just saying stuff? AE, that list of things Kyrie has to do to return to the NBA is true. It's ridiculous. Yeah, we talked about that. I said I saw the list of things that they were saying that he had to do, which I didn't pull it up. Maybe I will as we talk. But there's a list of things that they say that he has to do before he can return. And I thought the list was horrible. Arwash says, you lying. You would protest the NBA. Stop it. I'm not watching any more NBA until I feel like this is appropriately resolved. I am officially boycotting the NBA. And I was kind of digging the season. Interesting stuff was going on. I'm out. Until I feel like something, exactly what the what is, I don't know yet. I haven't really, but I know I'm not watching right now. And I may not go back to watching if I don't feel like something has changed. Yeah. Just because I didn't announce it, don't mean I'm not doing it. I'm not watching. I am boycotting the NBA. So now, I'm not watching the NFL, and I'm not watching the NBA. And no, I'm out because, you can't catch every game. A lot of games happen in the NBA. So I go on YouTube. NBA has their channel, and they put up the game summaries where basically you can watch the whole game in like 8 minutes. And I was watching those as well. I'm not watching those either. No, I'm out. Look, and this is why I'm out. Again, I haven't watched the documentary. So I can't, I'm not like, hey, Kyrie Irving was right. The stuff in that documentary or Kyrie Irving, the stuff in that documentary, what? I don't know what's in the documentary. It's not to me about what's in the documentary. It's about the same thing that it was about in the NFL. But what Wyatt said, where they take one and they hold him up before everybody. And they beat the crap out of him in front of everybody to say, we got power. Don't cross us or this can happen to you. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So yeah, I'm out. It really wasn't a hard one to make a decision. It wasn't a hard decision to make at all. Anthony says, I've seen some videos of them. They can be off the chain sometimes. So what are they saying that's off the chain, in your opinion? I'm asking, because y'all keep saying they're saying this and they're saying that. I'm asking, what are they saying? Give me an example. Of course, it doesn't have to be verbatim, but give me an example of what you're hearing Hebrew Israelites say that's out of order. Give me an example, please. On Watch says, I'm crazy. Well, I've been told that before. Why not go after the maker of the documentary? They're shooting the messenger. Or why not? Hey, call for a boycott of Amazon by the Jewish community. I heard somebody say that Amazon had pulled it from their platform. Okay. Kyrie Irving apologized. I believe he deleted the tweet. To me, that's even more significant than Amazon just pulling it from their platform. Has Jeff Bezos apologized? So you're asking for more from Kyrie than for the person who's putting it out there. Terry says, I think they've shortened Kyrie's suspension. Wyatt, and I read this as well. Shaq owns a movie theater that showed the documentary 3 years ago, and no one said anything. Shaq is a hypocrite. Angela says, wait, I was wondering if you would. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out. Maybe now you can get them trees. Don't be a hater, Angela. Don't be a hater. The NBA Players Union is filing a grievance against the league on Kyrie's behalf, and rightfully so. Nat says, we boycott things which benefit black men. And I understand, but can we boycott our creature comforts that benefit white folk? Like what? And tie it in for me. Tie it in for me. See, I'm not worried. Here's why I'm not worried about the black men who are affected by my boy. Well, nobody's really affected by my boycott. But here's why I'm not worried about the black men who are affected. Because if they wanted to, I mean, they have a union. They together could stand up and say, this is wrong, and we won't accept it. But since they won't stand up and say this is wrong, we don't accept it, the way that I see it, you part of the problem. So if I could get every human to boycott the NBA, I would. And not worry about those black men even a little bit. And then maybe they would look at it and say, you know what? Let me actually take a stand for something. Let me actually take a stand for something. So yeah, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about them. They have they're supposed to be united. That's what a union is supposed to be. Hey, we're united. We have a union. So we can come together and take a stand against injustice. But they didn't. They don't, and they won't. Terry says, I can't wait until you start these audits. I have a lawyer on retainer. I already do. Donald Sterling lost his team for saying some racist stuff. He was the owner. All right, congratulations. Brady says, sound like making all the slaves watch while you beat one. Right. But in this case, the slaves actually have a labor union. You know what I'm saying? That slaves actually have a labor union in this case, and they could stand together with the slave that you beaten and say, no, you're not going to beat him. Let me see. R Watch says, they say they hate Africans. I've never heard that. I've never heard that at all. They say the other race should be killed. I've never heard them say that. If there are people, Hebrew Israelites, Jewish people, saying that Palestinians should be killed. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Anybody saying that anybody should be killed, I'm not down with that. I'm not down with Hebrew Israelites wanting Jewish people killed. I'm not down with Jewish people wanting Palestinians killed. What? Yeah, that's extreme. Hold on. You telling me that there are extreme people on all sides? What? Yeah. There are extreme people on all sides. People can play the victim real good, even while they're victimizing somebody else. Anthony says, I can't remember off the top of the dome. Been a while since I watched those videos. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it and your delivery. I have no problem with people having a certain opinion. All right. You're right. Any group of people could say they're the chosen race. It becomes unacceptable when they advocate killing the other, i.e. the KKK. I agree. I'm not for the killing of people. Will they ask Amazon for a $500,000 contribution and send them to diversity training? Nope. Nat says, boycott Walmart, Kroger, boycott fast food, boycott Nike, boycott YouTube. Just so I'm clear, we're talking about for the way that the NBA is treating Kyrie Irving. You want me to boycott Walmart for the way that the NBA is treating Kyrie Irving? This is a question. It's a question. Is that what you're saying? You want me to boycott Kroger because the NBA is mistreating Kyrie Irving? You want me to boycott Nike? I'm already on that. They dropped him. Yes. But you see what I'm saying? Like, make it make sense, and you might have me. You might have me. So I'm asking you, is that what you're saying? You're saying, Emanuel, the NBA suspended Kyrie Irving because he posted a picture of a movie poster. So in response, you should boycott Walmart. Is that what you're saying? Brent says the Hebrews to Negroes video and books are still available on Amazon Prime. Okay. Boycott those movies you watch also. What movies? And again, just so I'm clear, you're saying, all right, Emmanuel, you don't like the way the NBA is treating Kyrie Irving. So boycott the movie. Not the movie that he promoted, but movies. If you can explain to me how that makes sense, I will appreciate it. I will appreciate it. Angela says, I have a 20-year boycott of Walmart, and I know many folks ain't dare going that far. And Angela says, just like E-Man, my boycott is on behalf of people I knew who worked there and were treated unfair. Man, I believe in that. I believe in that. Denise Devine said, Kroger, that's where I buy my food. All right. Nat says, in response to my question, no, I'm saying those entities are just as racist. It's just not on the news every day like pro sports. All right. Well, then, instead of trying to inject that here, just say that, because that's a separate issue. So you understand my confusion. I'm talking about boycotting the NBA. And your response was, well, why boycott something that black men benefit from? Why not boycott Walmart? Again, I'm talking about boycotting the NBA. So you understand that was confusing to me. Now, if you're saying, hey, look, Walmart is really racist, and here are some things that they've done, you might have me. Hit me, tell me, share that information with me. I might be like, Walmart, no, peace. But don't, because if that, using your logic, I see a lot of black people working at Walmart. Again, using your logic, if your logic is, well, don't boycott the NBA because black men benefit from it, then don't boycott Walmart because black people work there and they get paid from it. They benefit from it too. I don't buy into that logic. I don't buy into that logic. Now you want to play ignorant. Did I hear you say that when the Klan came here, you weren't at the counter demonstration? Yes, you did hear me say that. I don't understand what one has to do with the other. Help me understand. Help me understand. Because I believe you're probably trying to make a point. I believe it with every fiber of my being. Just walk me there. I'm slow. Wyatt says, wait a minute, is this the same NBA that displayed Black Lives Matter all over the court and player shirts? Yeah, straight clout chasing. They were fronting. All right. Janice says, to Angela Kenny, me too. Walmart is one of the most profitable companies in the country, yet their employees must be subsidized by our welfare system because Walmart does not pay equitably. Plus, Walmart is a union buster. But black people do get paid there, right, Nat? And if black people get some money, then you can't boycott it. See, the logic in that I don't go with. I can't go with that logic. Jason says, I'm getting here late. Why you boycotting the NBA? Because I don't like the way they treating Kyrie Irving. I didn't like the way they treated him during the whole get the shot thing. I didn't like that at all. And I really considered boycotting then. And ask me why I didn't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I didn't. But now, I don't like the way they treat me. Nat says there's plenty of evidence that these corporate entities are racist. We shouldn't base boycotting off a sensationalized news story. So you're boycotting Well, why are you boycotting? Tell me why you're boycotting. I'm open to hear it. I really am. I promise. Let me answer the phone. Jason. How you doing, sir? I'm fantastic.
Dude down in Georgia to have Herschel Walker be right up on your heels. And I don't even know how that race was close when dude busted out that badge at the debate. Like, I'm not for either of them because I don't think a preacher should be in politics. But whatever.
Well, hold on.
But
Wait. Why do you not believe a preacher should be in politics?
Because they're already con artists. The majority of them are already con artists. And when they get them super churches, they're definitely con artists.
What about the ones who aren't?
They probably don't want to get in politics because they busy tending to the flock.
All right, but if they do, you're okay with it.
No.
So why not?
Separation of church and state. You stay in the church or you go to the state, whichever one you want to do.
So you don't believe that a person who goes to church can be a politician?
No. You can go to church and be a politician. You can't be the leader of the church and then turn around and be the leader of the people.
Why not?
Because you're not going to separate the two.
How do you figure that? They can separate. They're not, as long as they're not mandating that people have a certain religion, then that's what that whole separation between church and state is. Not that you can't believe a religion or you can't.
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I want to be like your rude caller.
Yeah, it's not that they can't believe a particular religion or lead people in a particular religion. It's the government can't mandate that people believe in a particular religion. And so to say, it's like you're insinuating that Raphael Warnock, and maybe he has, and I'm not aware of it, did he put forth some legislation to force people to be Christians?
No.
So then I don't understand what the issue would be.
I don't like it.
Okay.
Like, I don't like it.
That's reasonable.
Con man or con man. I like my con man to be in one con, not two.
Okay.
But I know he's down there hurting because I think last time I looked at the numbers, he was only ahead by, I don't even think it was 100,000. But that's not my race. I don't know how people went out here and voted for J.D. Vance, and he has no government to experience, period. I was kind of upset at that. I don't normally vote in the 2 years, but I was really upset with that.
Well, did you vote?
Yeah, I voted. They didn't have no stickers, too. I was very upset. I'm not even joking. They didn't have no stickers, but I voted.
They voted for him because he's Republican, and it's not about ideals or plans or anything like that. It's about power and control. So people aren't, but like I voted for Tim Ryan. I didn't vote for Tim Ryan because I like Tim Ryan. I voted for Tim Ryan because I don't want the Republicans to take over the Senate. That's the honest to goodness truth. So people aren't voting for people based on, what they're saying, what they believe, what they do, or what they've done. People are voting for people at this stage right now. I mean, this may not last forever, but at this stage right now, somebody like me is looking at a Tim Ryan and saying, look, our democracy is on the line. And if these people who were okay with people coming in, attempting to overthrow our government, to throw our votes out so that the person that they want in office can be in office, if they take control, they might slow walk us there. I don't want them to have control. And so I will hold my nose and vote for any Democrat because and I'm not saying Democrats are perfect, but at least at this point, the Democrats are at least talking about our democracy working right. Whereas Republicans are defending the people and even pushing secretaries of state and all of that kind of stuff. People who say, no matter who people vote for, we're going to try to find a way by hook or crook to make our people, the people who get in office, to heck with the vote. And to me, that's anti-American. That's anti-democratic. So that's why people are voting the way that they are. That's why Herschel Walker is getting the vote that he's getting, and why a J.D. Vance gets the vote that he's getting, because it's not about them as individuals. It's about power and control.
I can see that. I also voted Tim Ryan, but I knew he was going to lose because that's the campaign that J.D. ran against him. I was like, yeah, he used all kind of fear tactics, so he's definitely about to lose. He had no response to any of it.
Okay.
So I wasn't surprised there. And as far as Kyrie Irving, Kanye was right. Like, you're not going to speak on a certain race. If they don't like what you say, it don't matter if it's negative or not. Like, you're not going to talk about us in a light that we don't like. If we don't like it, that it got to go. And the Klan.
I'm sorry.
For the record, the Klan can still have a rally on the square today. They just didn't want to pay for the security. They told them, y'all going to pay for your own police protection, and they said, oh, never mind. So all that protesting and all that hot garbage that whoever was talking about, that didn't work. It was the city when they said, yeah, y'all got to pay for your own cops. Then the Klan was like, oh, yeah, we're going to go ahead and go on to other cities that don't make us pay for our cops.
Yeah, I believe that to be the case, yeah.
That's why I didn't get why they kept bringing that up. Like, you can go down there and protest them all you want. That's probably what they want. They want you to come down there so they can call you the N-word to your face and laugh about it later on. But that's not going to stop them from coming down there.
Yeah, they want to rile people up and stir up trouble. Yes. I agree.
And I'm with you. Did you see what LeBron said about Kyrie?
I did, yes. Unless he said something else. Unless he's come back and revised his statement.
He a bitch. You saw his bitch statement?
Yeah.
He could have at least took up for his boy. Like, I ain't seen him have an opinion on it, so I think it went too far. Or kept his mouth shut.
Right.
Like, that's supposed to be you. That's supposed to be your bro from Cleveland that you hoop with, and you threw him all the way up under the bus.
Well, I believe
I
believe they had a little bit of a falling out. And I think Kyrie said some things about LeBron and maybe not wanting to play with LeBron or under LeBron or whatever. And, he might have had some issues with that. But I still think he could have kept his mouth shut. He showed that he could keep his mouth shut, even though it was on a basketball tip when they was asking him about Russell Westbrook. And he said, look, y'all the ones keep wanting to talk about Russell Westbrook. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how we can win games. And then he moved on. So he could have said the same thing about Kyrie. Like, look, I'm not here to talk about Kyrie. I ain't got no statement on Kyrie. I'm trying to win some basketball games. Let's move on.
Man, Nike probably texted him like, yeah, you better make a statement. Make sure you got something bad to say about Kyrie.
Yeah, I could see
that.
That.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying I could see that, yeah.
And as far as Shaq, that dude works with Papa John's. And Papa John's can play all that all they want, acting like they threw the owner of the company out of the company because he didn't like black people. But I don't buy it for 1 second. And the fact that he opened his mouth and said anything, because I have a name for that pizza that they named after him, but I can't say it on your show because I don't want YouTube and Facebook to shut you down. But, that man got a hell of a nerve opening his mouth. I was like, ugh. I was like, I kind of like Shaq, but now I can't even mess with you. Like, you done got the money. Now you just turning on people, talking stupid, acting like you ain't shucking on them commercials. But,
let me say, I won't be shocked to hear Shaq, maybe not Barkley. For whatever reason, Barkley, he takes his selloutism to another level. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Shaq backtrack a little bit when he catches, if he catches enough backlash from the black community about it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him backtrack a little bit.
I don't know. He's still with Papa John's and he still got that pizza. So, I mean, I wouldn't be working with nobody who clearly doesn't think you should be anything in life but what he says so. And he he just got in there. He just he a token. Like, here, we not racist no more. Here go a basketball player, and we gave him a pizza. So y'all should like us again and buy our pizzas again. Like, nah, pass. Hard pass.
Well, they did what he's no longer with the CEO. And he doesn't have all the shares that he had. So I don't think he owns a controlling interest anymore. So I think the argument could be made that some changes were made. I kind of give him a little bit of a pass for the Papa John's thing.
And that's the same as R. Kelly. Some changes was made on him too. He in jail. He can't molest nobody else. You gonna start downloading this music?
Totally different. R. Kelly can
No,
still.
it's not.
It is.
You
It is.
them.
R. Kelly
if
can
you buy
still.
Papa John's pizza, Papa John's get a cut of it.
I'm not
You
saying.
supporting the
I'm not saying I'm buying Papa John's pizza or I'm supporting it, but I'm saying it is a little different than R. Kelly. It's a little different.
Okay, one's a racist, one's a racist. Like, it's the same to me. I don't want to support either of them, even though I'm not going to lie, because I got rid of all my R. Kelly albums, and I was downloading, so he was already getting money, and sometimes I do listen to his music through streaming, but, sometimes you can't let go. You can't find CDs no more. But that's all. I'm going to leave that on that. But Shaq should keep his mouth shut. Oh, that show Monday y'all did, woo. That was like a 5-star show. I wish I could have hit the like button like 10 times. That was good.
Well, I'll let Wyatt know.
Points on both sides. It was,
all right, Jason.
But that's all I had.
Jason, I appreciate your call.
All right.
All right, that's Jason. And are we still boycotting Papa John's? It might sound, are we still boycotting Papa John's? Just curious. I have to admit, about a year ago, I bought a Papa John's pizza. I hadn't bought a Papa John's pizza since before Barack Obama got elected. I hadn't bought a Papa John's pizza. I hadn't ate Papa John's. They would bring Papa John's to work, and I'd be like, nope, I'm not eating none. And they be, well, Papa John's already got paid. You might as well eat the pizza. And I'd be like, nope, I'm not eating none. I'm standing on principle. My stomach can growl all day. I'll go get me something to eat before I eat the free Papa John's. But about a year ago, and I have to admit, I feel like they tricked me. Because I was like, all right, he's out as the CEO. Yes, he still has some shares, a lot of shares, but he's not the CEO anymore. And, they trying to turn it. He was out there complaining like, oh, no, they took my pizza, well, my company away. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go. And I ate some Papa John's. I felt guilty. I really did. I felt guilty. And I know somebody, y'all say y'all still don't like Papa John's, but that garlic butter dipping sauce, that garlic butter dipping sauce is delicious. You say what you want to say. He a racist, but he know how to make some garlic butter dipping sauce. But yeah, no, I won't mess with Papa John's anymore. I bought that one and I felt guilty about it. So how you feel about boycotting when they also employ black people? I don't, you might have missed it. You wasn't here. I don't worry about it like that. Like, that just is not a factor to me. Because if that's the case, you know how you shield yourself and you be able to do anything you want to do? Employ some black people. If a company came out and said, we don't want N-words money, F them N-words, monkeys, no. And just Oh, but we hired some black people. Well, we can't boycott them now because they did hire some black people. So, you know, what are we to do? Our hands are tied. We gotta go there and buy stuff. No, I don't. That's the easy out. I don't do that. I don't do that. R. Wash says, I knew it. Selective outrage. I absolutely have selective outrage. Absolutely. I'm outraged about what I'm outraged about. Nobody tells me what to be outraged about. You can bring an issue to me and then I analyze it through my own outrage meter. Oh, let's see. Kyrie, there's a movie and and the meter says beep, 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 boycott. Or something else. Okay, I'll let it slide. Yes, selective outrage. Because I'm my own man. Absolutely. CK.
Mr. Livingston, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. And you?
Man, I had to call in, man. You talking about that garlic butter from Papa John's. My God! That garlic butter?
Yes, the garlic butter.
Oh, woo! Woo! Hey, like, remember we was arguing for years I was against you for boycotting Django Unchained. But time revealed King of Talk was right. King of Talk was right. Now, on the very day you declare boycott on NBA, you got your own people trying to get you not to boycott it. Right? That's how you know boycotting is effective. Is it true? Ain't they texting you, telling you not to boycott, giving you reasons not to boycott?
Yeah. Saying, someone, Nat says, don't boycott the NBA, boycott Walmart. And
Right.
Somebody else is saying, hey, selective outrage. So in essence, don't boycott anything if you're not going to boycott everything, which is nonsensical to me.
Nonsense. That means just kill yourself. That's what I took that to mean when they said boycott everything. I gotta boycott a Big Mac because what they doing to Kyrie Irving? No, you got it right, man. You got it right. You boycott. Just think, we owe Kanye West an apology. Slavery is a choice.
No.
Listen what I'm about to say. No, I understand you disagree, but I'm saying
okay.
Now I'm telling you how it's a choice. Look what they're doing. Now it's LeBron came out there and said that. He said that about Kyrie Irving, Shaquille O'Neal. It's your own people. Yeah, I wouldn't say was a choice. I say is a choice. Now they're choosing to be slaves. You could have. LeBron didn't say nothing wrong, but he just messed up one word. He should have, instead of saying Kyrie, he should have said Amazon. I'm not for hate speech. Amazon is wrong for distributing. Everything he said was right, but he had the wrong person he was aiming it at. He should have been aiming it at Jeff Bezos, Amazon, right?
Okay.
You had one of your own people, black people, lie and say, oh, they took it off. What's that lie about? Are you covering up?
Well, now I heard somebody say that, but nobody came on and said it, but I did hear somebody say that they had pulled it, and that's why I was asking.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It is a choice. Now, people, if everybody was Emanuel and stopped watching the NFL because of Colin Kaepernick would have a job.
Yes, he would.
If everybody was Emanuel Livingston and boycotted the NBA, they would take the pedal off. They would take the knee off of Kyrie Irving's neck.
Yes, they would.
Want to emasculate a black man. And it's a funny thing. It's like, say a black person made Django Unchained. So black people made it, produced it, and is profiting off of it. And then a white person just tweeted it like Kyrie. And then all the black people said, well, he's being anti-black. When we made a movie about being, so they are the ones profiting. Jeff Bezos is Jewish. They are why. That's why they won't call out Jeff Bezos, because they are part of. They are the people they're talking about. They are anti-Semitism. Because why would they? If it's so hateful, why would you do that? Why would you put this on your platform? If it's against Jewish people and it said the Holocaust don't exist, why would you put that on your platform?
All right.
So you're gonna go against a brother that all he's doing, he's searching for his identity, because we don't know who we are. Our history was stolen from us. So we trying to figure it out as we go. He just saying, hey, he just tweeted the movie. He didn't say nothing. I was listening to your platform with Mr. Wyatt, and a woman said something, and you and Mr. Wyatt asked her, what did he say that was anti-Semitism? Not a solid single word spoken. These are black people, so it is a choice. Stop saying slavery not a choice. We are choosing to do this to our own people, but we're not acknowledging it. They telling you, oh, don't boycott. Why you don't want Emanuel Livingston to boycott?
Well, I think here's why I don't go even now with the slavery as a choice, even though I understand what you're saying. But here's why I don't go with it. Just because it's the new age thing, right? It's the modern day. It's easy to say, well, we choosing this or we choosing that. But those people who don't, there's an intimidation. First, there are these shackles on our mind. I was talking to, and everybody knows this. I'm not about to say nothing deep. Everybody knows this. There is, I have a friend. He has a dog. The dog has an invisible collar on, right? So the dog went to a certain point in the yard at some point, and he got shocked. And the dog know now, after however many shocks, I can't pass this particular point in the yard. Now, he actually took up the invisible fence accidentally. He had some yard work done, and they took up the invisible fence. And he was like, oh, they took up my invisible fence. The dog gone, and before he could even finish the sentence, it hit him like, no. The dog already know he can't go past that point. In his mind, that the shackle is on his mind. Now, it don't even have to be on his neck no more. He know if I go past here, I get shocked. That's what they do that with us in so many different ways. So to say it's a choice, I understand what you're saying, but understand that there are so many new age, newfangled, whatever things that they do now to keep our minds in check. And then when we get out of line, they take a Kyrie, they take whoever, and like you said, they emasculate them. They strip them down in front of all of us and say, here's what happened if you get out of line. Like if you forget that you got that collar on, here is what can still happen to you. And so, yeah, it's a choice, but it's a choice under duress, which is not much of a choice at all. And that's why I didn't like it when Kanye said slavery was a choice, because it was, well, they could have all just left. Well, some people did. Some slaves ran away. But people who are vicious are smart enough to know how to take advantage of people. And they're smart enough to know how to control the mind. And so you say it's a choice, but it's not really a choice.
No, but I'm saying now when you got a person of LeBron James, he done built up his whole reputation, loved by his people. So you would throw all that away. Now you ain't shit. Now nobody respects you. Your black community don't respect you. They go, oh, you're a puppet. So I don't respect you for nothing you've done.
Now, trust me, them LeBron sexuals, they still respect him. They probably out there making excuses for what he said, or they wholeheartedly believe it because LeBron said it and they want to make love to him. So no.
That's why they so disappointed. I'm saying the LeBron sexuals was also Kyrie sexuals. So now you split. Now you expecting if anybody gonna take up for Kyrie, it's gonna be LeBron. So now you let your own people down. So now you losing your core base. This is where the backtracking starts. This is why he got to come back and fix it. Because now he know he done stepped into it. He did not, because, like I said, those LeBron sexuals, that was part of that. Oh, we know he gonna have Kyrie. All he had to say was the exact words, but use Bezos' name or use Amazon name. But now he's losing his core fan base, and you're gonna have to see apologies. Matter of fact, he's actually making a stronger case for Kyrie by going against him. They like, hold on, you acting like you Jewish. We know when you talking, you don't even care nothing about what you're saying. You're just trying to bury this guy. And I don't think it's personal. I think it was forced.
All right.
He's choosing to kick a man while he's down. And like you said, what did he say that was anti-Semitism? Nothing. They know that. And I was wondering, like, so why, when I'm arguing, they don't even answer that. They don't even address Amazon. That's a lie when they say they take it down. They don't even address it.
They either don't address it or they make excuses for it. There's
what excuse you heard?
Here's one excuse. The same person who said he said something says Amazon has already addressed this issue before with other books and forms of media. As a policy, Amazon will not censor art/messages, just like they don't ban books. They say they don't know why it's such a hard concept to understand. So we can accept that Amazon doesn't censor books, but we want to censor what Kyrie is allowed to read, watch, or post a picture of. So it's okay for Amazon to say, look, ideas, art, and messages are open and free to expression, and we won't censor it. But if you're a black man, we'll censor the shit out of you. See, the people have their excuses for what they want to make excuses for. But if the movie or the book or whatever is so horrible that it shall not be mentioned. Because remember, that's all he did. That's all he did was mention it. That which shall not even be mentioned. So if it's so horrible that it can't even be mentioned, whispered, then why is it okay for that which shall not be whispered to be sold and put on the market by this big global conglomerate? Well, there's an excuse for that. Of course there is.
Excellent point you just made, and people need to hold on to what you just said, because there is no excuses. That is the excuse, what you said, because I had the same debate, and they hit me with the same, and tell me if I'm wrong. They said, well, they have other books that's contrary to that. I'm like, well, he got other thoughts, and he got other posts about other movies. But that's the only thing they got, so that's weak. I know you ate their ass up for breakfast with that weak ass excuse. It's like that's not even a formidable excuse.
Well, that's the excuse that they got. And they say, well, context matters. Context matters. Well, what's the context? The context is this is so horrible that if you whisper it, we will destroy you. But you multi-billion-dollar, potentially trillion-dollar conglomerate, you can make millions potentially off of it. But the end that is getting paid millions, we will destroy you if you so much as whisper it. But context matters.
Exactly. But I want to ask you this. Why is Amazon and Jeff Bezos promoting anti-Semitism? That's the question I got for you.
I don't know. No, I know why. I know why. Because they can make money off of it. And it's all about making, if you in business to make money, some people say, and they're in business to make money. So the business doesn't have a conscience, but we expect that black man to have a conscience. And if he whispers it, then we will destroy him. But if he could find a way to become a multi-billion-dollar corporation, he could scream it from the rooftop. But he don't own his money. We pay that end, and that end ain't gonna say what we say he can't say. Now, we don't own Jeff Bezos. He's a rich person, like a wealthy person. Like he can buy one of these teams, so he can buy and sell these ends. Now, when Kyrie get to the point that he can buy and sell ends, then he can say what he want to say. But as long as we paying that end, you better not whisper that. because we'll destroy you.
Another excellent point. And remember, little bitty kids can identify as whoever, as Dwayne Wade's son, daughter. But you can't, as a black man, identify as a Jewish person. That's the hypocrisy of this nation. Basically, you can't even say I'm Jewish. How can I be anti-Semite if I'm a Jewish person myself?
Well,
From Hebrews to Negroes.
well,
That's the name of the platform.
but that's a part of the issue. See, it's okay. You believe that you're a Hebrew, but I don't believe that you're a Hebrew. So my belief trumps your belief. So your belief is hate speech, and my belief is reality. Why? Because I control this. Now, if you were in control, if your people had the reins of power, then you would be the Hebrew and I would be the anti-Semite. The person with the money and the influence and the control dictates which belief is real and which belief is a lie.
And how long did the Holocaust last?
How long was that? Was it like, it wasn't that long. It was, how long was the Holocaust?
Give me a ballpark.
A few years.
6 to 10, or not 10?
I don't even think it was 10. What was it, like 4 to 6 maybe? I don't remember. And I'll be watching those daggone World War II documentaries
Right.
all the time. I don't remember.
But you're right. The ballpark is right. Because I didn't know. I thought you might know. But how long did slavery last?
Hundreds of years.
There it is. How many people's lives was lost from slavery?
Millions.
Hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
Right? Hundreds of millions of people. Now you got the descendants of slaves defending, attacking Kyrie Irving. You got to pay close attention. You got the descendant of slaves. If anything, Kyrie, Shaq and Barkley and the other guys that attacked LeBron, they should be fighting for reparations. But like I said, they didn't already make, they feel they got reparations. So they won't speak about that, but you will speak about the Holocaust when we lost 400 years of slavery and look at all the millions of people we lost. But you're talking about the Holocaust. You don't even care about your own people.
CK, I gotta run.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. I had to holler at you. This was a serious one here.
I appreciate your call. That was CK. I appreciate his call. I saw where Angela asked, just curious, has anyone who's denounced Kyrie spoke out against Amazon in any fashion? Not that I've heard of. And actually, I hear it just the opposite. I mean, you can even pay attention to the young lady that's on here, who I believe is in all earnest coming from her heart, defending Amazon and bashing Kyrie or denouncing Kyrie. That's the way that I haven't heard it, Angela. I haven't heard anyone who's denounced Kyrie. Also, they have excuses for Amazon, but not necessarily denouncing them. I haven't heard it. Key.
Hey, what's going on, Emanuel? How are you?
I'm fantastic. And you?
Okay, I was just calling, showing support. I tried to look for you on YouTube, but it didn't come up.
I'm not on YouTube?
I didn't see it come up unless it just didn't come up on my end. Have you seen anybody commenting from YouTube?
I thought I saw a few comments from YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I see comments from YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, it must be just my end. When I tried to look it up earlier, it didn't come up for some reason. Must be a delay. But I was just kind of saying, hey, just supporting.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Okay, because I know you're about to get out because it's Wyatt coming on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, well, I was just saying, hey, so everybody comment, subscribe, like, hit the thumbs up, and support Emanuel.
I appreciate you, Key. Have a
All right,
wonderful
you
day.
All right, you as well.
All right. Or I guess I should say a wonderful evening. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. It's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, honestly, I understand. I understand the people who are defending Amazon and denouncing Kyrie Irving. I understand. I don't agree with them, but I understand them. They're trying to be sensitive to everybody, but they don't really realize, in my opinion, how harmful what they're doing is. You're making it okay to attempt to destroy a black man for the same thing that you're making an excuse for a white man to do. And when you defend that, then that makes it, hey, we know, they know what they doing. But they like, look at them. Like they defending this. They saying that this is okay. I guess enough of them that's saying that it's okay for us to castrate this black man and beat and shame this black man in public, but let the white man do the same thing to a greater degree. And they're making excuses for it. Yo, we can do it. They still got that shot collar on. We still control them. Enough of them to be influential. If Kyrie can't whisper it, Jeff Bezos can't sell it. But if Jeff Bezos can sell it, Kyrie can say it. And he should be able to say it without fear of repercussions. And if we can stand up, like we're against censorship. We're against censorship. I'm sorry, but Twitter is a digital medium. When you're saying we will punish you for saying that, look up the definition of censorship. And tell me that they're not censoring Kyrie Irving. But you against censorship. Unless it's a certain people. I don't like it. But I gotta go. Wyatt is coming on, I'm certain. Check him out. I don't know what he's talking about. We didn't touch base today. But check him out. Until next time, it's been the Afternoon Experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. My title is The King of Talk. I hope you have an amazing evening, and I hope something amazing happens in your life this evening, all right? Enjoy yourself. Take care of each other. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.